I'm David Hutton. I'm the father of Luke, and we've been with Hit Dogs for 3 years. We heard about Hit Dogs through word of mouth. I think that's what we've tried to do with a lot of our interactions through youth sports, and just trusting other people's experiences and what they've had to say. That's how we went about it, and it ended up really working out really well. So when we were evaluating different options, certainly trusting communications with friendships that you've built up over time was important in other people's experiences. In addition to that, we were certainly looking for a space for Luke to grow in his baseball. And I certainly remember a very poignant conversation I had with Tony prior to us officially signing up, with regards to his outlook on the baseball program, what his thoughts were, and really his philosophy. And that really started out on the same page as far as what his thoughts were, what his expectations were for Luke, how he was looking for Luke to grow, and that's really what we were looking to do as well. Being with Hit Dogs over 3 years has certainly been a very good experience for us. Staying with the program, especially in the pay-to-play arena, is somewhat unusual for most clubs we've been at. There tends to be a lot of movement. But the words that struck me in my mind from Tony is trust the process. And that's really been at the heart of what's kept us here. And seeing Luke's development and how he's grown in the program, and honestly the program's belief in that. There are a lot of programs where if parents are unhappy, the ownership is more interested in about keeping the dollars into the actual program as opposed to what the philosophy is of the program. And you don't see that at Hit Dogs. Tony trusts what the outcomes are going to be. And if that doesn't happen to fit in with your philosophy, then he's totally okay with that. And you can find, a space that will fit in with what you're looking for. And ultimately trusting the process, I think, is really the mantra that's kept us here. Seeing Luke develop over the last 3 years has really been multifaceted, both with his just basic fundamental skill set and how he's continued to build on those skills, but more than that, the mental aspect that is so important with baseball, dealing with failure. When we first joined Hit Dogs, I don't think he'd been on a club where he'd ever been out of the top 4 hitting positions. And the first round of tournaments during the summer when we joined up, he was barely on the field, to be honest. And just having to deal with that kind of shift in mindset as to how am I going to put myself in a position to be able to take the opportunities that are in front of me and be successful. And seeing him grow through that has been really beneficial. And those types of experiences, you're only going to be stronger having come out of them. So there've been a number of different pieces that go into that. Certainly they're given a lot to think about, and the ownership that they're given over their activities on the field is really rewarding to see when they start to become successful in giving that ownership. When people talk about a post-high school program, I think there are a lot of things that can be said about that. I think first and foremost, there's an emphasis on what is happening in the college scene, and am I imparting the same skills, and me speaking as a coach, into the players through club that are going to be expected at the college level. And we're certainly seeing that. Having been to a number of different colleges on visits, I can attest to seeing that mindset and philosophy transition over into what we're seeing just from what's being done in the Hit Dogs program. More than that, understanding that there's a right path for every player, and not everyone's going to go and make D1 out the bat, especially with the whole transfer portal and what that means. And we're seeing it just with this year's group of seniors, and how they're kids that are going to D1, they're kids that are going to JUCO. And what is the right path for your kid? That is part of what they take into account. And it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. And I certainly do appreciate that about the Hit Dogs. So when I'm asked about, thoughts on families considering joining Hit Dogs, the first thing that pops into my mind is a pastor once said to me, as soon as you found the perfect church, the minute you join it, it's no longer perfect. So always keep in mind what you bring to the table. But I think first and foremost, if you are expecting immediate results and just a complete 180 in what's going on with your kid, I'd be certainly hesitant to sign up for Hit Dogs. Going back to the notion of trusting the process, the philosophy is building the skills in your players' arsenal over time, and that's ultimately what you're signing up for. So that would be my kind of word of guidance. If you're looking for long-term results, skills being built up over time, Hit Dogs may well be a very good fit for you. If I'm to think about from a parent's perspective, just advice that I would give, I think part of it is buying into the program and understanding how it's run. You've got a program that is a little atypical in my mind to other programs that I've seen. It's being run by, first and foremost, a businessman who's running a successful business and is bringing those skills over into youth sports. And a big part of that is surrounding himself with the right talent. And that's ultimately what you're going to see here. The likes of Jet, who has done wonders for Luke's development, and ultimately how all of those pieces fit in, and knowing that I need to trust what's been put in place and how the cast has been assembled in order to build the skills in my child. So that, I think, would be the piece that I'd give both prospective parents, but also parents that are in the program. You go through seasons where I'm not seeing the instant results that I'm looking for. And again, taking a step back, understanding they're very good and skilled people that have been added to the crew, and trusting in them, knowing that the results will come given time.